What's up, folks? I'm Odd, by the way. We're closing in toward the end of the month. This is the second to last week of this challenge that I've been doing with Inktober prompts, but with the same characters, digitally, whole bunch of other things and limitations that I put on myself that's actually made it quite a bit more fun for me, honestly. As of recording this, I'm actually about 2 days ahead of where I'm going to be stopping, so this is going to be days 20 through 25. The last video is probably, hopefully, going to be up either on the 1st or 2nd of November, based off of editing, stuff like that. This week kicks off with some actual conflict that drives the rest of the week. They're not just all weird sequential things, or episodic. You know what I mean. Day 20 was Frost, and we see Kaya and Suri incapacitated by a mysterious hooded figure. Suri asleep and Kaya barely awake, her horns shattered on the frozen ground. I went for kind of a sparkly effect for the frost here and had kind of their horns touched with a little bit of frost as well, so maybe they've been out there for a while, I'm not totally sure. I feel like I have some trouble, though, with writing conflict in more interpersonal stories like this. I'm either all lore and conflict or all character interaction, and the two just have a hard time combining with me. Day 21 was Chains, in which Kaya starts her progression toward getting just completely pissed. In a room where they both barely have any room to stretch their legs out, Kaya seems to have gotten some increase in strength or found a fault in chains, and is able to break her own chains as Suri is still waking up. I liked how the colors turned out here. They were just sort of soft and muted in a way that I liked, and obviously the emotion is very much there, I feel like. I'm really liking the expressions in these recent days. Day 22 was scratchy. It's actually kind of twofold in my mind, though it doesn't really translate. I'd imagine Suri would find Kaya's sweater a little itchy. And of course, Kaya is dealing with a wound from her binds. When I couldn't quite translate Suri really feeling like Kaya's shirt is scratchy, I kind of started thinking maybe I could do some writing for more context in this story later on, of course, after the month is over. I feel like some basically like lengthy captions would be fun. Maybe try and pop that and the drawings up on AO3 or something. My art buddies seem to think I'm already crazy for even thinking that, but let me know what you think. Day 23 was celestial, and of course, with all of the implications throughout the rest of the story, we finally get to see the actual eclipse that's been hinted to throughout the story. Initially, this was actually inspired by a partial eclipse that was visible in the States at one point in time. I think I missed it. I think it was cloudy. It wasn't totally in my area anyway, so I wouldn't have gotten the full one. But it was definitely in the back of my mind for a lot of the drawings. Girls find themselves partially surrounded by the cultists who use the knife that they found in the dagger video, or the dagger day. And Kaya is only getting more angry with the situation. She seems to definitely be embracing her more demon-like appearance. Apparently, my character dynamic always eventually boils down to tall and sweet meets short and angry. These two are a bit like the inverse of my characters Aramis and Phoenix. Even their hair lengths work for it. Apparently, my brain says short hair, short stature, short temper. Day 24 was Shallow, and this was probably a little less detailed than it could be, but I was a little tired. I kind of had a cat debacle. Grim, the kitten, is kind of has Giardia currently, which is kind of contagious, and Tulsi was overdue for a vet visit anyway, so I had to take her in. I'm not an early riser, and the appointment was at 11 a.m., which isn't necessarily early, but I also have trouble sleeping before appointments, so overall, very sleepy. Then we didn't even go, and I had to reschedule for earlier, which has already happened, thankfully, so I'm not sitting here exhausted. Because after I was finally able to get Tulsi into the care gear, which she was not happy about, punched me in the face, nearly gave me a second nose piercing. The car just stalled out because the battery had died for some reason. Excuses aside, this day has a vision of Surrey's that seems to be overlapping with reality. Their third eye has made its way back after several days of me forgetting it. Let's again just pretend that it goes non-corporeal or something. And it seems to be showing them the spirits of previous sacrifices who are begging either for help or trying to help them escape. It reminded me a bit of like Last Night in Soho. Also, the shallow is supposed to be the shallow pool of like ooze or blood or whatever's going on there. It was supposed to be blood, but it definitely looks a bit more gooey. But yeah, without spoiling it much further, that is another recommendation. I wonder how many like different media recommendations I've made throughout these videos in the past. I'm sure it's actually quite a few, which is funny. Day 25, our last day for this week, was from the prompt Dangerous. Both of our characters seem to be getting overwhelmed by their new forms, Kaya getting even more aggressive and her Sklara are black now, and Suri still seems to be in her vision with only her third eye open. The question that arises here is, which side is in more danger? Honestly, I'm thinking the cultists are in more trouble than they think they are. From day 20, I did actually try to start thinking ahead a little bit, and though I still kind of play this by ear, I am trying to escalate this to a decent actual conclusion when that comes around. We're getting really close here. But those were this week of art in my 31-day challenge. I'm excited to wrap this up next week and do more stuff that isn't this, but it has been great for my motivation so far, actually. I really think I thrive on prompts and these minor limitations. But yeah, give this video a like if you liked it, and subscribe so I can see y'all next week for the thrilling conclusion, whatever that may be. See y'all next time.